Good evening and welcome to Electronic Game Information. We are coming to you live from the Tokyo Game Show in beautiful downtown Tokyo, Japan. Our top story tonight, pandemonium as the Tokyo Game Show descended into chaos today. The cause? The omission of Sonic 3 and Sonic & Knuckles from the Sega Genesis Classics Collection on the Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Nintendo Switch. An angry and passionate crowd of Sonic the Hedgehog fans stormed the gates of the Chiba Prefecture Convention Center when a Sega representative walked out and attempted to assuage them by pointing out the inclusion of Sonic Spinball and Sonic 3D Blast. He was savagely beaten. One protester who wished to remain anonymous is quoted as saying, "When Dr. Eggman, that is Dr. Robotnik, flies around the forest at night collecting animals for experiments, the world turns a blind eye. It's up to Sonic and his friends to traverse the maze-like levels in pursuit of Dr. Eggman. What most people don't realize is that those kidnapped animals are used as batteries inside the various robots that stand between Sonic and his goal. It's unacceptable for this practice to continue. By removing Sonic 3 and Sonic & Knuckles, we lose a key ally in the war against Eggman." To many, this year represented a major step forward for the games industry, with big blockbuster titles and lots of graphics. But the uproar over the latest Sega Genesis collection left many looking for answers to questions like these. Are these memories? In the event hall, a group of officials from the Dire Council of Game Developers marched into the Sega Enclave with copies of Sonic's Ultimate Genesis collection, pointing out that Sonic 3 and Sonic & Knuckles were included in that release nearly a decade ago. Everywhere, people rising up, people demanding time attack mode. The controversy has stirred up a number of other uncomfortable questions about Sega's erratic releases of classic games compilations, none of which have included Crusader of Senti. Maybe someday, Crusader of Senti will be included, but sadly, not at the Tokyo Game Show, not in 2018. No dice. At this moment, the Sega booth is in Eastwatt City under siege. Alan Resnick is reporting live from the scene. Alan, how are things looking out there?
Yes, Robbie, I am here. And I just want you to know that I'm super excited to be doing this and to be working for you. It's so awesome. This is like a big opportunity for me, so thanks, Robbie.
Alan, Sonic 3 and Sonic & Knuckles didn't make the cut. What are you hearing out there on the streets?
Well, Robbie, right now, the mood on the street of downtown Tokyo can only be described as completely insane and wrong. Every single person I've spoken to today has been disturbed and sickened by the lack of Sonic 3 and Sonic & Knuckles from the Sega Genesis Classics collection. One little boy I talked to just cried and then ran away. Back to you, Robbie.
A little boy crying and walking away, Alan. That is heartbreaking. Alan, I have back issues of GamePro magazine that shows Sonic & Knuckles receiving greater accolades than Donkey Kong Country. They were both released during the same holiday season in 1994. Can you explain?
No, unfortunately, there is no way for me to explain this to you or anyone else.
All right. Well, both Sonic 3 and Sonic & Knuckles have made it onto even earlier compilations than Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection, including Sonic Jam for the Sega Saturn, Sonic Mega Collection for the GameCube, and Sonic Mega Collection Plus for the original Xbox and PlayStation 2. What do you make of all of this, Alan?
Well, Robbie, this entire situation has left me confused and sad. To be honest, I don't understand the significance of any of this. Back to you, Robbie.
Alan, I have to ask you, is there any word on the Crusader of Senti?
Robbie, yes. Crusader of Senti is an action-adventure game that was released on the Sega Genesis. The story centers around Corona, a boy who has just turned 14 years of age and must inherit his late father's sword to fight monsters that threaten the human race. Gameplay uses an overhead perspective and focuses on exploring, battling enemies with a sword, and solving puzzles. As the story progresses, numerous animals join the hero and aid him. These animals are used in gameplay like weapons or tools, which often grant passage to previously inaccessible areas. Back to you, Robbie.
Alan, can you explain, for everyone watching the show tonight, can you explain the plot for Crusader of Senti, and please use as much detail as you possibly can?
Yes, I can, Robbie. In Seoul Town, the law requires that all 14-year-old boys go and train and prepare for battle.
14-year-old boys, Alan. Would you say that maybe the boy that you saw crying earlier was around 14 years old?
Yes, they would be perfect for this mission.
Wow.
The game's hero, Corona, has just turned 14 years old. And as such, Corona must receive the sword and shield of his father, who died in battle, and had a great reputation for his bravery in defending the city. And Robbie, this is where things get really interesting. The story is divided into two parts. Corona must first take time to discover his world and unlock various levels that make it up. He can then access these levels at his leisure. During this half of the game, Corona will not have the ability to speak to humans, only to animals and plants.
That is such an amazing thing there. I mean, you have to wonder, what happened in this world that made it so Corona can only talk to animals and plants?
A beautiful question by you, Robbie. Some of the animals join him, lending Corona their special abilities. The very first animal the player gets is Corona's pet dog, Mac, in the US version, or Johnny in the UK version.
Mac and Johnny, those are two different names. So Mac is the American version, correct?
That's right, and Johnny is the UK version.
So you got a picture. I mean, Mac is, what do you think the difference is there?
I think in the United States, people like to use the word Mac to describe young boys, and in the UK, they prefer the name Johnny.
Like you might say somebody on the street says something like, "Hello, Johnny,"
or "Hello, Mac" in the US.
Unbelievable.
Mac or Johnny can hold down enemies for Corona to attack. Later, the player gets a penguin named Chili, who will power up Corona's sword with an ice attack. A total of 16 animals can be obtained. Only after beating the dragon beast Marada, pronounced Marada, will the second half of the game begin. Corona has recovered his abilities to talk to humans, and he will travel through time to build a better world and understand why the monsters are at war with humanity. Is it really the monsters who are the barbarians of this world? Back to you, Robbie.
Wow, that's an incredible question to ask. Now, I understand that Sword of Vermilion is included in the Sega Genesis Classics collection. Now, why would anybody want to even play Sword of Vermilion if they knew such a fascinating game like Crusader of Senti exists?
Robbie, I simply do not know how to answer that question.
Now, let's talk a little bit about Beyond Oasis, because that there's an action RPG that seems to have crept its way back into these collections and is at this point as much of a staple as Vector Man or Shadow Dancer. Are you seeing or hearing anything that might lead you to believe that there could be some shining force of Gunstar heroes willing to take this protest to the Streets of Rage 3? Are they going to gain ground, or will this be a crackdown?
In a lot of ways, the question you just asked me is simply impossible for me to answer. Some of the words you said didn't make sense to me, but they sounded very beautiful. If I was forced to respond, I would have to say yes, there is going to be a crackdown.
And what about those Echo the Dolphin games?
No, you know what? I appreciate those games, but they're just not for me. Back to you, Robbie.
Even Echo the Dolphin Ties of Time, I think that you have to maybe take a second look at that.
No, I don't think I will. I couldn't figure it out. I didn't know what to do or how to control it.
Well, it's very simple, Alan. Your pod of dolphins has been kidnapped by the Vortex. That's an alien race.
Yeah, okay. I'm not that interested in the Echo series. Thank you for
Well,
your suggestion.
listen, Alan.
Back to you,
They
Robby.
seem to be included on this new Sega Genesis collection, so maybe you can just give them a second look. What do you think?
I don't think I'll be giving those games a second look. It's not my sort of thing. Back to you,
Well,
Robby.
look, it's very simple, Alan. There's people overlook games like Echo the Dolphin.
Thank you, Robby.
You hear people talking about things like Castlevania, Metroidvania, all that kind of stuff. But how about Echo?
It's not my kind of thing. Thank you
Well,
very much.
all right,
Back
Alan,
to you,
I think
Robby.
a lot of people think you're being pretty narrow-minded.
I don't think I am. Back to you.
Well, thank you for being there, Alan. Thank you for that
Thank you,
update.
Robby.
Wonderful. In other news, mighty number 9. Let's turn to the phones. Are you in Tokyo? Are you at the game show? We would like to hear from you. Are you safe? Hello, you're on the air with electronic gaming information. We are at the Tokyo Game Show. We are in downtown Tokyo, Japan. How are you feeling?
Hi, my name's Avi Izor, and I just want to know why isn't there any love for Zoom for Sega Genesis? I remember that game from my childhood.
Absolutely, Zoom is a fantastic game, isometric perspective, or maybe it's an overhead perspective shoot 'em up game. It's a wonderful game, a throwback to the old days. And if you're mentioning it with the relation, kind of relating it to the Sega Genesis collection, perhaps it should be on that. What do you think?
It's like, how are players supposed to relive getting punched by a banana or tussling with a mushroom?
It's a remarkable question. Now, and what other things have you seen while taking a good look at all the news coming out of the Tokyo Game Show?
Well, I heard that Telltale Games is dead, but it's going to rise again.
Yeah,
and then die
it probably
again?
will. Not a lot of people are going to be making those big licensed adventure games, so someone's got to do it, right?
Yeah, I want a venture game based on Freaky Flickers or one of those old one of those old R. Crumb comics.
Oh wow, that's a really weird thing to say. Thank you for your call.
All right, bye.
All right, next up, you're on Electronic Game Information. We are coming to you live from the Tokyo Game Show. We are discussing the news of the day. We've discussed the Classics Collection, Sega Genesis Classics Collection, and the closure of Telltale Games. How are you doing?
I am doing great.
That's wonderful.
How are you?
I'm doing good. Loving beautiful Tokyo, Japan. It's always beautiful at this time of year.
All right, that sounds pretty good. Now, I didn't actually own any Sega Genesis games. We didn't have one when I was a kid.
All right. Well, so you're not really affected by the controversy with Sonic 3 and Sonic & Knuckles.
No, not quite. But it's something that I'd love to experience. That's the main thing. Mm-hmm. And, I understand we're being deprived of that opportunity as consumers.
All right, so here's the thing, is that you can experience them on any number of platforms. You got your Nintendo Switch, you got PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC. It's going to be out on all of those. And not only that, but they also have the Sega Ages collections, which are separate from the Sega Genesis Classics collections.
Well, that's just great. You really know your stuff. I see why they put you on the show.
Well, absolutely. I don't do this for fun. Thank you for your call.
Thank you.
Next up, you're on Electronic Game Information. We're coming at you live from Tokyo. Caller, you're on the air. What's on your mind? Oh, we got disconnected, I'm afraid. Caller, you're on the air.
Hello?
Hi, how are you doing? Welcome to Electronic Game Information. Are you in Tokyo?
I am.
How do you like it so far?
It's pretty good. It's morning.
Oh,
right
yeah.
now.
It's early morning in Tokyo Game Show. The Tokyo Game Show is going crazy. All the arcades are blowing up with action, right?
Yeah, I love it. I'm playing an arcade right now.
What is your favorite game to play at the arcade during the Tokyo Game Show?
I'm going to say Sonic Movie Maker.
What?
Sonic Movie Maker?
Sonic Movie Maker?
Yes.
That's at the arcade?
Yes, that is.
Who's in it?
Sonic, Knuckles, the whole gang.
That's fantastic. Well, it's so good to hear that they're getting out and about after being omitted from this year's Sega Genesis Classics collection. Thank you for your call. Keep those games playing.
Great, you too.
All right, we have time for one more call. Hello, you're on Tokyo Game Show, electronic game information. We're in Tokyo. It's really Tokyo.
Hey.
Hi, how are you tonight?
Rob,
or should I say
Robbie,
this morning?
How about you?
Yeah.
My morning's doing good. It's very disorienting, but I'm acclimating well, so I'm okay.
Absolutely. I assume you took the subway to the Chiba Prefecture Convention Hall. You're here with us now. I'm looking down. I'm trying to see if anybody down in the convention hall is looking at me, talking to me. I don't see anybody.
Well, yeah, I'm doing my best to remain hidden for various reasons.
Well, what's on your mind? Let's hear from you.
You know what's on my mind? I want to know more about what's going on with a game called Allison Road. There was a game called Allison Road. It was going to be the spiritual successor to PT, that Silent Hills game that got canceled. Mm-hmm. And we haven't heard anything about it for a while, and I'm very upset. And I was hoping to hear about something in Tokyo, and nothing's going on. It's frustrating me greatly.
That just sounds like one of those games that they just don't. They're not gonna leak anything until they're well and damn ready. Same thing with Metroid Prime 4. I was really hoping to hear some news about that, but you and I are in the same boat, buddy. Thank you for your call.
All right, you have a good one, Robbie.
Yeah, you too. Tokyo Game Show is an incredibly exciting time of year. Excitement always breeds inspiration. Inspiration breeds imagination. And imagination, of course, results in incredible poetry. Tonight, I'd like to share with you a poem that we've made especially for the Tokyo Game Show that deals with the controversy surrounding the Sonic 3, Sonic & Knuckles, and other Sega Genesis classic collections. I'd like you to take a look. I hope you enjoy. And we're back. It's Tokyo Game Show season, and you know what that means. Gamers the world over are going to be glued to their screens, gaming magazines, staring at screenshots. And with that in mind, Screenshots, a new EGI exclusive where you, the viewers, listen to me, the view, describe the screenshots that I've chosen from a massive catalog of video game past and present. And based on my descriptions, you, the viewer, try to guess the game. Caller? Caller, you're on the air with the electronic game information. We are playing the Screenshots game.
Okay, how do you play?
Well, first thing is I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, no peeking. This is a hard game. I'm going to describe a screenshot. that allows you to that you are then going to guess the game that it's from.
Okay.
All right.
I
So
can't look at it?
let's close your eyes, please. Just close your eyes. Thank you.
Okay.
Eyes are closed. All right, now bring up the first screenshot. This is a lot of fun. All right, this is some sort of a first-person shooter. There's ice all around, and it's a first-person shooter. So the character's got a gun in his hand. It's a colorful gun. There's
What kind of gun?
man. What's? Oh, wait till I
Sorry.
finish wait till I finish the description. You don't know what's going on. There's an older man with a mustache, handlebar sideburns. He's got a monocle and a robot arm, and then right next to him is a robot that's an upside down kind of traffic cone with a green eye and a green light on top of antenna. What game do you think it's?
Is it Borderlands?
Well, yeah, you're close. It's Borderlands 2 on the PlayStation Vita. You just won the screenshots game. Give yourself a round of applause. Next screenshot, next caller, please. Hi, are your eyes closed?
Actually, the stream is slightly off time, so I'm just going to turn away from the.
Absolutely, that's great. All right, so I'm going to describe to you the screenshot, and you're going to tell me what game it's from. You got it?
It's on the previous one, which is. Yeah.
Yeah, that was Borderlands 2. This is a different game, different screenshot. Your eyes are closed? You're playing the game. You and me are playing the game. You got it?
Yes, I'm the Chow Garden person.
All right, so this is what we got. This is what we're looking at. It's a car game. It's a car combat game. It's very dark colors. Lots of browns and grays. There's a green car that looks all beat up. It's got a heads-up display with some missiles coming out of it, and there is what looks like a beat-up old-timey ice cream truck. What game am I looking at?
I'm thinking either is it Blur?
No. It is Twisted Metal Black. You got it wrong. Next caller, next screenshot, please. Thank you. All right, next caller, next screenshot. Are your eyes closed? Hello? Caller, you're on the air with electronic game information. Are your eyes closed?
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to describe to you a screenshot right now, and you're going to tell me what game it's from. You got that?
Okay.
Now, this is an unforgettable game. This is a game that, if you look at the screenshot, and you're not looking at the green screenshot because your eyes are closed, you would see kind of a buckety kind of a spider robot with a bolt of pink lightning coming out of its head, a Gatling gun that's shooting green bullets, and just some other creature that can't really be described. This is the screenshots game. You tell me what game it's from.
Bomberman?
Nope, it was Oddworld Munch's Odyssey. You got it wrong. Next caller, next screenshot, please. Hi, you're on the air with electronic game information. We're playing the screenshots game. It's a really fun game that I made up.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Are you ready to play the screenshots game? Are your eyes closed?
I am going to turn my head away from the screen. I'm going to play this your way. How
All
are you doing, Robbie?
All
How
right.
you doing?
You got it?
I am ready.
Now this is a classic screenshot from a classic game. It looks like it's a platforming game. You're a little boy in a rooster costume. You're standing next to a spotted blue and white egg. White egg with blue spots and a pirate ship in the background. What do you got?
Oh, Billy Hatcher.
Billy Hatcher and the giant egg.
Right.
You got it. You have won the screenshots game. Thank you for your call. Next caller, next screenshot, please. Are you on the air? You're on the air with electronic game information. We're playing the screenshots game.
Hey, what's up?
Are your eyes closed?
Yeah, well, they are, but the screen's off, but I'm not looking.
All right, I believe you. So what we're looking at is a scary game. A scary game that it's very violent. There's a man with a gun. He's pointing at the gun at a man in a black hood, and behind him is a man in a red hood. It looks like a third-person action game. It's terrifying. What are we looking at?
Is it Resident Evil?
Gonna have to be a little bit more specific than that, buddy.
Resident Evil 4.
All right. You sure you're not peeking?
Yeah, I'm absolutely sure.
You sure? Because the way that we do this, there's a good chance that you saw the screenshot before you got on the line.
No. Come on.
All right, get this guy out. All right, go to the next screenshot. Next screenshot, next caller. Make sure your eyes are closed before you play the game. Hi, you're on the air with electronic game information. Very important. Are your eyes closed?
Yes.
All right, so we're looking at a blue room with a man in a pink outfit, a red outfit. He's giving the shh sign, and that's all there is. Blue room, guy in a red outfit giving the shh sign. What are we looking at?
I'm sorry, a what sign?
Like shh, like you're being quiet.
Oh. Pink guy, blue room, sign.
You got, just give it whatever's on your mind.
I don't got anything to
All right, forget about it. It's Killer 7. Let's do Alan. Let's try with Alan. I think Alan probably gets the screenshot game. No, not yet. All right, we'll just do one more. Oh, we got one more screenshot, one more caller, then we're going to go to Alan. Hello, you're on the air with electronic game information. We're playing the screenshot game. It's going really well.
Oh, good. Good to hear.
Are your eyes closed?
Yes.
All right. It's very important that your eyes are closed. This is a fighting game. It's got a guy in a red kind of jumpsuit, like a motorcycle guy, and a guy with a stick who looks like he probably sells weed on the side. What do you got?
Deadpool?
Nope. It's Last Bronx for the Sega Saturn. It's an old AM2 arcade fighter that was ported to the Saturn. They took the 3D backdrops and made them 2D backdrops. Now, next up, can we go to Alan? We got Alan on the line. Why don't you play the screenshots game, Alan? Alan, are you ready?
Robbie?
And Alan, your eyes are definitely closed, correct?
Yes, Robbie, I'm blindfolded.
Oh, okay. Well, so, all right, this is what we're looking at, Alan. We got a kind of a dungeon crawler, a first-person dungeon crawler. You're in a yellow tunnel, a yellow hallway with a blue elephant, or a mammoth, or a mastodon. It's got twirly... Are your eyes closed, Alan?
What? Yeah.
You sure about that?
Robbie, I got blindfolded.
The game doesn't work, Alan, if people's eyes are open.
I'm not looking.
I'm
not looking.
It's a first-person dungeon crawler with a blue mammoth.
Yeah, I see it.
What?
I don't know. I think it's a Pokemon game.
It's Phantasy Star, Alan. It's Phantasy Star. We got one more screenshot. We got Alan.
I'm pretty sure it's Pokemon.
You messed up.
Thanks, Robbie.
Alan, we got one last screenshot. We got one last caller. Caller, you're on the air. Are your eyes closed? Very important. The game falls apart completely without eyes. All right. We lost the caller. It was Clock Tower 3. That was the screenshots game. That was an electronic game information exclusive. I'm proud of it. I thought it up, I wrote it down, and it made it out into the world. Not a lot of things, not a lot of people can say the same thing about the things they think of. So coming up is another EGI exclusive. We have Alan Resnick standing by with a very special guest. Alan?
That's right, Robbie. I am here with Knights. Star of Knights into Dreams from the Sega Saturn. You are Knights. Knights, how are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing great. Knights, I have to ask you. You and Sonic go way back. How do you feel about the lack of Sonic 3 and Sonic & Knuckles from the Sega Genesis Classics collection?
I think it's just another ripoff that between Sonic being given credit he does not deserve. I wasn't in there either, nor was my Christmas game.
That's right, Knights. Your Christmas game wasn't included. Strong words from Knights. Now, Knights, I understand you can fly around and do crazy loops. Is that fun for you?
Well, it depends. If you have the right controller, it can be extra fun.
Wow, that does sound fun. Now, Knights, I recently had a dream that my tongue had turned into a long braid of thick hair, and every time I pulled it, it made people fall in love with me. My question to you is, why do we dream, and what is the nature of dreaming?
I don't really know why we dream, but I do know someone who can advise for that. It's my friend from another game called Battle Monsters named Headless Harn. He's been helping me with this stuff quite a while now.
Interesting. I will consult this character that you've mentioned, but in private and away from prying eyes. Now, Knights, before I go, I must ask, why do you feel the need to collect blue orbs instead of something that is obviously more valuable, like gold rings or coins?
Trash to one can be treasure to another, and that's one of my treasures.
Beautiful words from Knights into Dreams. Dream on, Knights. Back to you, Robby.
I don't think that was Knights. All right, let's do the list. Tonight's list, Genesis games that should have been included on the Sega Genesis Classics Collection and all other classic collections of Sega Genesis games. You know what this is. It's the list. First up on the list, Skeleton Crew. Skeleton Crew is a top-down isometric action-adventure game where you and your friends, also all skeletons, run around in maze-like environments, shooting enemies and collecting items. Weapon upgrades and continues. It's Skeleton Crew. It's on the list. Next up, Rock and Roll Racing. This is a racing game where you can only listen to rock and roll and nothing else. If you listen to something else besides rock and roll, you're not playing Rock and Roll Racing. Three Dirty Dwarves is not on the list. It's a Sega Saturn game, and it's interesting that it's on the list because if there was a Sega Saturn collection that Sega would make of Sega Saturn exclusives, they would probably want Three Dirty Dwarves on that, but tonight it is not on the list. Zero Tolerance is a first-person shooter. It was a Sega Genesis exclusive. It should be on every Sega Genesis Classics collection. It is a first-person shooter that proved that first-person shooters could be done on the Sega Genesis, albeit with some frame rate dips and some very simplistic environments. Check it out. It's Zero Tolerance on the Sega Genesis. Red Zone was a top-down shooter where you and your friends enter the Red Zone. Join your friends and enter the Red Zone. It's a top-down action event. It's a top-down shooter with lots of fun and lots of weapons. Blow them up. Chaos Engine is, of course, also like Red Zone. Bloodshot is another first-person shooter on the Genesis that proved that first-person shooters could be done on the Genesis without any of those wacky add-ons. Caller, you're on the air. We're doing the list.
Hey, Robby.
How are you doing tonight? Any games on the list jumping out to you right now?
Yeah, I remember Aladdin.
Aladdin is a licensed game. It's a Disney licensed game. It's way too complicated to include it on the list. It's not on the list. Sorry to disappoint you, but let me tell you a little bit about Urban Strike. You like helicopters?
Oh, who doesn't?
Do you like helicopters and hate the city? Well, you should try if it floats your boat. You should try Urban Strike because you fly around the city in a helicopter. You blow up the city, and at the end of the game, there's no repercussions. Thank you for your call. You're on the list. Jungle Strike is, of course, Urban Strike. If you love helicopters and hate the jungle, try out Jungle Strike. Blades of Vengeance. You're on the. Do we have another caller? Blades of Vengeance. You're on the list.
Oh, hey.
How are you doing tonight? You any of these games kind of jumping out at you? This is the list.
Okay. How about?
We don't have a lot of time. We got a whole list of games to get to. You got to say what you got to say, or I got to keep going. We don't have time.
Okay, well, recommend me something.
What? It's all right. I'll give you a game right off the top of my head. How about Jewel Master? Jewel Master is on the list. When I say the word Jewel Master, what do you think of? Probably a puzzle game, right? Not like an action game where you put on different rings and receive special abilities, right? Thank you for your call. Next up, we got on the list, we got Jurassic Park Rampage Edition. Now, I just shot down a caller for attempting to put a licensed game on the list, but we're putting Jurassic Park Rampage Edition on the list. It's very specifically Rampage Edition because Jurassic Park was based on the events of the movie, and Rampage Edition just took its own path. It was developed by Blue Sky Software. If you are a fan of the Vector Man games, you are a fan of Blue Sky Software. They made Jurassic Park Rampage Edition. Alien 3 is also on the list. Are you a caller on the list?
Maybe.
All right, so we got Rocket Knight Adventures. You got Rocket Knight Adventures?
Oh, hell yeah, I got Rocky Night Adventures. Love that game.
That's a fantastic game on the list. It's a Konami game where you fly around. You're a rat in a night outfit. You're having a great time. Rocket Knight Adventures. Is there a game that you'd like to see on the list that I have not mentioned yet?
Yes, it's a Sega game. You play as the...
We lost a brave caller tonight. What?
What was that?
Say what you got to say, buddy. We don't have a lot of time.
All right, dude, just let me go. I'm sorry.
All right, back to the list. All right, we've got a few more games we've got to get to on the list. We got Elysia Dragoon. Elysia Dragoon, if you are if you're a fan of Castlevania and you wish that it was slower and easier, Elysia Dragoon could be the game for you. Ranger X is a side-scroll, shoot 'em up, have a great time kind of game. Shadow of the Beast is, of course, the beast within us all, running around in fantastic environments. Biohazard Battle is of course, another shoot 'em up, have a great time game. And last game on the list is Kadash. A lot of people always asking me, why don't we talk more about Kadash? And I gotta admit, I wish we were talking about Kadash more. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the list. A few weeks ago, I finally got all the Chaos Emeralds in Sonic 2. It's frustrating collecting all those rings, jumping through all those halos of stars, all those level checkpoints, trying to make sure I had 50 rings at each one. I felt like I had left something unfinished, you know? And here I was finishing it. It's a funny thing to go back and see myself going through all those special stages, coming to that final gem and thinking to myself, it's finally going to happen. Finally going to become supersonic. I took one last breath and I took that gem. And the Chaos Gem was mine. I went back to the Casino Night Zone. I collected 50 more rings, jumped in the air, and there I was, transformed. Supersonic. Now Sonic, in his natural state, is very, very, very fast. But supersonic, too fast. Flying off platforms, plunging into cisterns, impossible to slow, impossible to control. Many of you at home are probably thinking, Sonic the Hedgehog? Too fast? You must be crazy. Well, maybe I am crazy, but I was deeply disturbed by the explosive speed of Supersonic. Unwieldy, unrelenting. Supersonic was not the best version of one of my top 10 favorite video game characters, no. Supersonic is a psychopath. Psychopath that can't be controlled. A freak of game design, unwilling to play by any rules, an uncontrollable force of forward movement, completely unmoored from the physics of the game that I thought I understood so well. Supersonic is the embodiment of something sick within us all, I think. The desire to get through tough times unfettered. The final battles of Sonic 2 against Metal Sonic and Dr. Robotnik, also known as Eggman, tested me as a child. But through patience and training, I defeated them without a single ring in my possession. I went through those battles without having to transform into something that I'm not. That was my achievement, and I was proud of it. And although the race for the 7 Chaos Gems was similarly challenging through, pattern memorization and save states, I wasn't doing it so I could defeat my enemy and save animals. I was doing it because I thought that it would make the game easier later on. And what kind of a thing is that to wish for? Life is full of Robotniks, also known as Eggmans. Life asks a lot. But resorting to the use of game-breaking enhancements to defeat your adversaries doesn't fix anything. It cheapens your triumphs. This Tokyo Game Show takes some time to identify the Robotniks or Eggmans in your life. And take some extra time to remind yourself that defeating them by becoming horrible monsters is not the way to go. This is Robby Rackleff. I'm reporting for the Tokyo Game Show 2018. And we will be back tomorrow night, same time, same place. Tokyo, Japan. Stay safe, everybody.